Hello everybody and welcome to Green Star Trading with me Tom. All views, opinions and ideas expressed in this video are my own and do not constitute financial or trading advice in any way. Right, for the next few minutes we are going to be looking at some altcoins, a whole bunch of them in fact. Okay then, we're going to start here on XRP, then work our way through all of these altcoins, and we're going to keep this as fast as possible. So the cut-offs for these counts are pretty clear, so that's what we're going to work with basically. Right then, so for the longest time I've been saying 3 waves down into a 2. Here's a 1, here's a 2. 5 waves up into a 1. 3 waves back into a 2. It's got to materialise soon or it's all bets off. That's XRP, essentially. Now let me talk you through why I prefer this count. If I'm saying 3 here, I'm saying completed correction. Okay, if I'm saying 5 here, I'm saying new trend, right? I prefer the look of this as 5 waves rather than trying to make it 3, which doesn't look like 3 at all to me. So this is 5 waves. Impulse. This is not 5 waves, this is 3, so this is not an impulse, so we can't go 1, ABC into a 2. Alright, and we can't go A into a B. Alright, not unless we're going flat. And that's what we're doing. 3A, 3B. Not 5A, 3B, 5C, which is a zigzag. So 3 into an A, 3 into a B, 5 into a C, which has to occur before this low at 0.51004, or that's all she wrote. All bets off. We could bottom 1 tick below this level, or it could be total capitulation. I have no idea. Alright, so this count either holds, and we rally sometime soon, maybe put in a 3, 4, 5 is last low here, or we've done the 3, 4, maybe we just need to put in the 5, and then we can look for something. Now, moving averages, below all of them. The 10 and 20 are through the 250, through the 60, through the 250, 60 is rolling over towards the 250 for that glorious death cross that we look for. Not because it's a sign that we should continue selling, it's the complete opposite, as I've proven on dozens of occasions. It's the sign that a low is imminent. After that occurs, the whole point is to drag retail in off this signal, right? And then screw them over. So if we were to get a death cross on another thrust down, that could actually signal that we're going to bottom and then find support and get moving. Haven't seen it yet though, and we haven't got any return of volume yet. We've got a node in the volume profile down here which could provide support, but not this one as it's below that cutoff point, so it'd have to be this one, which is a pretty bloody deep 2 at that point. Okay, so overall we'd be looking for, let's go to our wave 2 setting here, 90%, 89, 90% or even more if we haven't already bottomed. That's it. If we have bottomed and this is a 1 and a 2, then we will break trend and impulse higher in 5 wave structure within a 3. 4, 5 could even challenge these highs, right? If we come out of this downward trend, a 5 wave move heading higher, volume comes in to support it, momentum turns positive, that's all good news. Take out these highs while doing it, and that is uber bullish, because that's going to be another 1 and another 2 inside of a 3. Okay, so that's the way I see XRP at the moment. Break these lows, all bets are off. It looks like a flat 5 here into a 1, ABC, and it still does look like a flat. It's just a deep one. Well, that's the best I can do with it at the moment. So, looking for what I said, break a trend, impulsive move higher. Could already be bottomed. If not, we've got another move lower. If we do move lower, we've got a bottom before these here. Right, so that's XRP. Now let's look at Tron, because it's doing something very, very similar. The only difference is we get an expansive B wave high here. Okay, you get an expansive B wave high, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two levels down here represent the 78.6% overall retracement of this wave 1 at minor degree, plus the 1.618 extension of the A from the B to find the C in an expanding flat. B went higher than the A, so this is an expanding flat. We've already broken the low of the A, so it's not a running flat. This has to be an expanding flat. The next likely bottom is here at 1618, which is 0.062, unless we've already bottomed, because we have done just enough to find an expansive target down here around the 123.6, 131.8. We did wick through it. Okay, so it's not ideal. A lower target would make more sense under this circumstance, but it is possible that we've already put in the 1 and the 2, right? That we've gone 1, 2. If that's the case, once again, we will impulse out of here. 3, 4, 5. Multiple opportunities here along this impulse, obviously inside of the wave 3. But what we're really looking for is the completion of 5 waves on a larger degree, breaking these previous highs. Then a 3-wave pullback, enter, stop, off we go. Big 3, big money, big balls. And that's the kind with horns, I should say. Alright then, so that's the way I see Tron. It's the same gig as XRP. We break this low, and that's all she wrote. You know, we are in trouble at that point. Now, I say trouble because it could be a tick below, and then we fly, or it could be a fucking collapse. Okay, so there's no way of knowing, because I can't find an account which supports this. That's the problem. I've got this clear impulsive move, and it is way clearer here even in Tron than it is in XRP. This is a clear 5 off of the low. Right? We get no overlap. We get a 3-wave structure again. So, oh well, maybe this is 5 Tom. Not with a higher high here in the B, it's not. We can't go 5-3 to a new high, because 5-3-5 is a zigzag. So this has to be 3. One way or the other, it has to be 3. That's no way is that an impulse. Alright, so the B wave high makes sense. This whole count makes sense, but it's going to cause pain and fear before we bottom. Okay, so that's how I see Tron. Same as XRP, same count, only difference is expansive B wave high here. We've got to put in a low before this low, otherwise all bets are off. Right, so that's Tron. Let's come over and have a look at ADA. ADA stands out slightly differently here from the rest, because rather than having a 3-wave pattern like this as a flat, we get a nice clear triangle here, supported in the RSI as well. I've checked A, B, C, D, E into 4, and a clear impulse up here of 5 waves. This, however, is an enormous mess. 3-wave move to here, 3-wave move to here, maybe 3-wave move down here. We are currently around this node in the volume profile, bang on it. Bang on the 61.8 golden ratio. Okay, in a strong area of support in amongst all this previous noise. Okay, if we can't rally from here and we can't get out and trend above this downtrend, we're not going to do it. Okay, not going to do it until lower. We've got to break out. We've got to break all this structure here, because the only previously bullish count I had was that this was a 1 and this was a 2 of a lesser degree inside of a 5. If we break this level here at $1, that's off the cards. Okay, calling it a primary 1, primary 2 opens the door to potentially deeper retracement. Could be done here at the 61.8, right? But we could come much deeper to find the 2 and then rally. So I would argue, in the meantime, same as everywhere else. If you're a long-term accumulator and you have faith in crypto, I do, long-term as an accumulator, as a hodler. Lows are buying opportunities, right, to acquire for the long term. But if you're a trader, and I do trade crypto occasionally, not as much as I do other assets admittedly, then you have to wait. You have to wait for an impulsive move that breaks trend. You have to wait for volume to come in to support that move. You have to wait for a 5-wave up and 3-wave back, right? You have to wait for momentum to turn positive. We want to see all of those things before we start buying into trades for the long side down here. And that's the way I see it, really. Like I said, if we can't do it from here, around all of this, around the 61.8, if we can't do it from here, we're not going to do it until lower. That's the way I see ADA at the moment. I wish I could talk you through this pile of garbage, but I just can't. I mean, this is an A. This is a B-wave triangle, perhaps. This is a C into a B. This is another 3-wave move into a C of an X. But it's a mess. It's just an absolute mess. So, best I can do is slap a WXY in it at the moment and live with it until we find a low, until we bottom, until we impulse out of here. Who knows? Now I've got all of my moving averages off here for some reason. Let's just switch these buggers back on. Okay, the 10 and the 20 is through the 60 and through the 250. This is looking more bearish with the 250 trending down. However, The 60 is very close to crossing over the 250, so this is your typical death cross pattern again, right, that the retail like to sell. Right near the bottom of a regression channel, right near a volume node, right near the 61.8. This could be the perfect place for us to find a low. Maybe not the bottom, but a low, because the death cross normally is synonymous with finding a low, because it draws in liquidity because of fear. You know, people come in and go, oh my god, we've got a death cross. That brings loads of liquidity into the market, right? Loads of people willing to sell their shit, and then that's when you tend to find buyers, when everyone's willing to part with their stuff. You know, so we'll wait and see, but we could get a low down here. But like I said, if we can't do it down here, we won't do it till later. Right, so it's now or never in that case. Well, not never, but there doesn't appear to be anything below this point, which is truly a feasible place to rally. You know, like I said, this is the strongest amount of supportive structure we've got on the chart. And it happens to come in all around the 61.8. If this doesn't provide support, give me a reason why something else should. Okay, not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying if you can't do it around such strongly established support, I don't think you're going to. Alright, so that's ADA. Right, Sol. Back to the expanding flat again. A, B, C. Just in a different place to Tron and XRP. Now this one is quite interesting. Now you'll have to forgive the busyness of the chart. This was part of a deep dive, which I did for Patreon. I'm now doing the live sessions instead of the deep dive, which are going down well. Next one's tomorrow. Very, very busy. Got a lot of stuff to go over. Really looking forward to that one. Actually, got a lot. I set some homework last week that everyone's been working on, and some people have made some really interesting entries for me to go through. So all you need to know here, sorry to digress momentarily, is we had a triangle again, right? And this one's even more pretty. This one's a really pretty triangle that we got here. So this is a 4, right? Because a triangle can only occur in a 4, in a B, or in an X. Okay, and this is a giant impulse going higher with another clear impulse here. So there you go, 3, 4, I said 5 here. Why? Because I can't get an impulse into all this nonsense. Alright, it's just too messy. This looks corrective, and therefore I'd rather go with the high here into a 1, A, B, C, into a 2, and off we go. Right, so we're expecting deeper pricing here in Sol as well. How deep depends on the extension within the C, right? Excuse me. Clicking on the wrong thing. Now let's come in and have a look at what I'm talking about. Let's bring the count back up. Okay. So we have the extension here of the A from the B. We're not even at the 123.6 yet, so a running flat is possible. A, B, WXY and the B. Maybe it's not, because I have no idea how to get 5 waves out of this. No way at all. Here's the 123.6, that would give us a running flat before the low. 161.8 would give us an expanding flat, B wave, C wave. There's F all down here to catch us. In the volume profile, the next big pile of resistance we're going to have is all the way back here at our point of control, right? Which is all the way back around 43 bucks. That provides a shit ton of structure, but then at that point, I think arguing for a flat is impossible because the C would just be too big. So at that point, I think the only feasible or logical thing to do would be to call this the top, 5 into a 1. And this will prove to be something else. Maybe a zigzag, X-wave here, then another zigzag, possibly. So maybe a WXY double zigzag could be possible. Just get rid of those doodles. Okay, so yeah, that's the way I see that at the moment. We either, once again, similar to ADA, right? We're right around the point of control. Now, how are we regarding the low of this whole move, this whole bloody thing? So all the way back here, taking my 1, coming off of the log. Right, we're not even at the 50, guys, miles away, miles and miles away. So unless this is a pretty bullish pattern for a flat, then there's no obvious support for a while. So you're going to be looking for the same things we've been looking elsewhere. How the moving averages look. Oh, we've got the 250 on the chart here still with Sol. Been broken in other places, still trending up. That's overall bullish. 10 and 23 with 60. 60 is a million miles from a 250, so maybe we could just be looking for a more classic form of support. There doesn't appear to be any structural support. Broken this high, broken this high, broken this high. This low is still intact. We prefer resistance for support rather than support for support. Most people do not like to buy back at where they bought. You know, they like to come out of a trade in profit, and therefore resistance tends to provide support rather than support. So yeah, same thing as before. We need to see a break a trend. We need to see an impulsive move up. We need to see it supported by volume. We need to see a shift in momentum to positive conditions. We need to see all of that, and then we can start considering a possible completion to this pan. If we don't get it, it's a long way down. Here's the volume node here at the 61A in some of this structure. After that, the only structure you've got is the 3-4 all the way back around the point of control around $43. So we got to get moving ASAP really. We could trend down to the 50, but there isn't much else to give us support here. We'd like to see structural support as well as Fibonacci support and Elliott wave targets. Right, so we've got a lot to do here as well. This looks very much like three waves. You know, maybe it's done, but then we'd have to be saying W, X, Y, and I don't like expansive X waves. I'm not saying they're not possible, I just prefer B waves as expansive patterns, as the flat is much more measurable destinations for its Fibonacci extensions. We don't have that luxury if we get an expansive X, and that can just make things very confusing. So if this is a 1 and a 2, that means we've got quite some way down to find the 3 and 4 and 5 yet. So that's my take on Sol for the moment. We could have topped here, possible, in which case this could just be a 3-wave pullback on its own. Doesn't seem big enough considering the wave degree we're working in. Okay, so that is Sol. Before we move on, let's have a look at yeah, no sign of bullish divergence yet. No sign of bullish divergence yet on the MACD. Another thrust down. Well, honestly, I think it would just bring us more into oversold territory at the moment. So we're either going to rally out of here, like we are in XRP or Tron, that we need to see, or we're just going to continue lower. If this continues lower, that could be bad news for other alts if they can't rally before their lows. We've already discussed that with XRP and Tron, so just keep that in mind. Finally, we got the woofter. We got Shib to deal with here, and you know, I did say ages ago, if you go back and watch a video I put out on Shib, about how I was secretly hoping for a 90% pullback. Well, we're not a million miles from that. You know, are we done? I haven't got the foggiest, to be absolutely honest with you. Just move this out of the way. Sorry for putting that out there. I was just checking my mic was still recording. I've been having problems with it. Oh, it's really tricky. That's bullish divergence, right? But it's broken down again since this low. You see, body to body even. Had a discussion just the other day on the Discord. Should we be considering the bodies for divergence, or can we consider the wicks as well? And short answer, the bodies. Long answer, both. I won't go into detail, but I explained it. So either way, you can see here, low, lower low, low. Not really, is it? Doesn't matter how you try and sugarcoat it, it's not there. So unlikely to be done, I think. Unlikely to be finished. Can't really dig anything out of this corrective structure that I trust, to be absolutely honest. So let's run up a fib. Okay, sat around the golden zone but not really respecting it in any meaningful way. Structure here around the 3-4. And what's our volume profile tell us? It's going to tell us, I'd imagine it's going to tell us that that's our point of control. Let's just get ourselves into an adequate visible range to test this theory. No, it's even lower. It's the next biggest peak. Point of control is all the way back down here. Here, however, is where we've wicked to. And we're kind of meandering around. So we are into this structure now. We're not fully down into it yet, but we are into this structure. So very kind of similar, because we have the triangle again, right? You know what, like I say again, I mentioned it in Ada, I mentioned it in Soul, it's here also in Shib. The triangle is king. So this represents a major area in the volume profile, as we've just seen. Major area in the volume profile. It also represents roughly the golden zone, but we would have to come a little bit deeper to get into the thick of it. In other words, if we don't finish this correction soon, around this area of support, there's no reason to do it. There's no reason to do it until we get through it, if you know what I mean. So it's the same gig again, right? I know I'm flogging a dead horse here, but until you get out of this trend in an impulsive fashion and you get the volume coming to support it, and until you get push your way back above these moving averages, volume comes in, momentum turns positive, until you get all of those signals with a 5-wave up, 3-wave back on a smaller time frame, there's no reason to trade this there's no reason to be long in this. You know, if you're accumulating it for the long term again, and you're here for years to come, then that's your business, and I'm an accumulator and a long-term hodler as well, but I'm also a trader, and from a trading perspective you can't touch any of this stuff at all at the moment. You know, if you are, you're just, I don't know why, you're just gambling really at this point. But it's going to go your way. There's nothing to say that it's going to go your way until it says it's going to go your way, so just wait for it to tell you that. Wait for it to give you something. Okay? Hasn't given you anything yet. Volume's got to come in. Right? Momentum's got to turn positive. Downward trend's got to break. Impulsive moves got to occur. 3-way pullback's got to occur. All of that stuff's got to happen before you can get bullish here. So it's the waiting game, guys. It looks like Max Payne's scenario is likely to occur across the crypto markets. We've already got a bearish count on Bitcoin. It doesn't make any sense that it wouldn't be present here in the altcoins either. But this can all change. As I pointed out, we've got two patterns, the XRP and Tron pattern, which point to recent lows, or point to incoming lows in flat patterns. If they hold and they bounce and they appear extremely bullish, then all the lows could be in across the altcoin market, and we could have a hell of a January, hell of a February perhaps, maybe even a hell of a February, April and March combined. February, March and April would make more sense though, wouldn't it? So that's what I'm saying. Until you get a low in, and it's a confirmed low, and we get moving impulsively, we have to assume lower lows are on the horizon. Alright. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel and you like what you're seeing, please subscribe, smash the like, hit the little bell notification icon to remain informed of future video releases. Feel free to leave us a comment in the comment section below, but of course you don't have to. And as always, a massive thank you to all my patrons. Your support is greatly appreciated, and I will look forward to speaking to you guys in the live session. Okay then, everybody, take care. If this is my last video of the week, it might be. I'm going to try and get one out on the Friday, but I'm going away for 10 days on the Friday and I might not have the time. So if this is, I'm going to leave you all with a very Merry Christmas. Have a great one, and I'll be back with you on the 27th once I get home from holiday. All the best, guys. Take care.